So let's start with the topic entropy. So entropy is the measure of irreversibility. Now irreversibility is also known as rate of unavailable energy or rate of unavailability. Okay. So entropy is associated with unavailable energy. Okay. It is the measure of irreversibility or it is the measure of unavailable energy. Okay. Now we have seen in the first law of thermodynamics that dq is equal to dw for a cycle, means dq is equal to, in the available energy part you will see that dq is equal to unavailable energy and unavailable energy. Now available energy is the maximum work output that can be used to perform a work, and unavailable energy, that is unuseful, that gets degraded from heat. Okay, so entropy is the fraction of work obtainable from heat per degree drop in temperature, because unavailable energy is T delta S. Okay, so dq, that is the unavailable part of the heat, dq is equal to T delta S, or delta S is the dq by T, that is the fraction of heat that is unobtainable, okay, for work. So it is the fraction of work unobtainable from heat per degree drop in temperature. Now we know that work can be extracted from a molecule if its order if it has a ordered molecular arrangement. Its arrangement of the molecules is in order. Okay, so if the arrangement of the molecules has not been in order, then it cannot give work. Okay, so entropy is also associated with the disorder of the molecules or randomness of the molecules. So it is said that because work is obtained from ordered molecular motion, entropy is also a measure of molecular disorder or randomness of the system. Okay, we have Clausius inequality. So Clausius inequality decides the processes whether they are reversible process, irreversible process, or not found process or impossible process. So what is Clausius inequality? Clausius inequality is cyclic integral of dq by t is less than equal to 0. So this is a cyclic integral. So this operates over all the cycles. If you, as we know that integration is performed for variables, if it's dq. Okay, so if dq is variable, means we have a specific heat as a function of temperature. If we have absolute value of q, then we have summation of delta q by t less than equal to 0 for a cycle. Okay, so Clausius inequality is change in temperature, change in heat at by the temperature at which this change is happening is less than equal to 0. If it's is equal to 0, it's a reversible process. If it's less than 0, means it's a negative value, it's a irreversible process. And if it's greater than 0, means it's a positive value, it is impossible. No process occurs in nature that follows that the change in temperature by the temperature at which the change is happening is always less than or equal to 0. Okay, now we have change in entropy. Now the change in entropy is greater than equal to dq by t, reversible. Okay, so change in temperature is greater than equal to dq by t, that we have the thing that we understood in Clausius inequality, the term dq by t. Okay, so for reversible process, whatever the value are that we are getting is change in entropy is always greater than that. Okay, now we are applying integral from point 1 to 2. Okay, so ds is greater than equal to 0.122 dq by t, implies s2 minus s1 is greater than equal to dq by t. Okay, that is entropy change is always greater than equal to entropy transfer due to heat. Now this formula, that the change is entropy, you can better understand this and better see this formula in the open system cycle. When you will see that in the open system cycle, you will see that the change in entropy per unit time or change in entropy is the summation of dq by t plus entropy generation. Means what you said is entropy change is always greater than entropy transfer due to heat. Some entropy is generated during the process. Okay, if no entropy is generated, it's a reversible process. If entropy is generated, it's a irreversible process. Now entropy is an extensive property. Extensive property means depends on mass, and it's a point or a state function. It's a property, so it's a point or a state function. That is already been told that if we get an property, so that property will be a point or a state function, and every point and a state function is a exact differential. Exact differential means cyclic integral is 0. Entropy is an extensive property, point and a state function, point or a state function, same thing, and exact differential. Okay, whatever we have in property, anything that is a property is a point or a state function, and whatever is a point or a state function is the exact differential. That's the thing. Now integration can be performed only on the reversible path. So if we have a irreversible path, replace it with a reversible path and then find the entropy change between the points. Okay, now the change in entropy is equal to 0 only for reversible adiabatic process. Okay, because dq is 0. Entropy is conserved only for idealized reversible adiabatic process. Now the entropy generation that we were talking about is the total entropy generated, or entropy of the universe, change in entropy of the universe, or change in entropy of an isolated system. They are all the same thing, that delta S isolated or delta S total or delta S universe is equal to entropy generation. All are the same thing. Okay, so total entropy generation is equal to change in entropy, or total change in entropy is equal to change in entropy of the system plus change in entropy of the surrounding. Now change in entropy of the system and change in entropy of the surrounding may increase or decrease. That may be change in entropy of a system or change in entropy of a surrounding may be a positive value or may be a negative value. But entropy generation or total entropy change is always a positive value. It may be 0 or it may be positive, but it can never be a negative value. So entropy generation can never decrease. So entropy generation is 0 for reversible process, it's a positive value for irreversible process, and negative value not possible. Total entropy change is always greater than or equal to 0. Okay, now as we have understood that area under PV diagram represents work, so area under TS diagram represents heat. Okay, TDS is equal to dq. So area under TS diagram represents heat transfer during a reversible process. The clockwise cycle on the TS diagram represents work producing cycle, and anti-clockwise cycle on the TS diagram represents work consuming cycle. Okay, work producing means it is giving work like heat engines, and work consuming cycles means it is taking heat like heat pumps, refrigerators, etc. Now we are establishing relation between internal energy, enthalpy, and TDS. Okay, so first we have dq is equal to du plus dw. That is the first law of thermodynamics. taking potential energy change and kinetic energy change is equal to 0. So dq is equal to TdS and du plus PdV. dW is PdV work for a reversible closed system. Again, enthalpy is equal to internal energy plus PV, implies dH is equal to du plus PdV plus VdP. Now du plus PdV is equal to TdS from the first equation. So we have dH is equal to TdS plus VdP. Okay. Now the equation that we got in the equation that we got in the second step, that TdS is equal to dH minus VdP. This is the equation that we use for calculating the entropy change of a gas. Okay. Entropy change of a gas or entropy change of a solid, it applies for both. Okay. Because for a solid or incompressible fluid, there is no change in volume. Okay. No change in pressure. So the same applies for both, whether it's a gas or solid. The entropy formula will be generated from this equation, that TdS is equal to dH minus VdP, implies ds is equal to dH by T minus VdP by T. Now dH is a specific heat at constant pressure into change in temperature by T temperature, and PV is equal to RT. So V by T is equal to R by P. P is the pressure, R is the gas constant, dP is the change in pressure. Now slope of isobaric curve and isochoric curve on TS plane, that we have seen before also, that slope of isobaric curve is T by Cp and slope of isochoric curve is T by Cv. Cp is a specific heat at constant pressure, Cv is a specific heat at constant volume, and T is the temperature in Kelvin. Okay. Now slope of isochoric curve on TS plane is more than isochoric curve, that we know. So Cp is more than Cv, that we have seen in the previous videos also. Now entropy change for an ideal gas, that I have said before, that the formula that we got, TdS is equal to dH minus VdP. So from that formula we have performed the integration and we got these three formulas. Okay. That entropy change of an ideal gas, delta S is equal to S2 minus S1 is equal to Cv ln T2 by T1 plus R ln V2 by V1 plus Cp ln T2 by T1 plus R ln P1 by P2 is equal to Cv ln P2 by P1 plus Cp ln V2 by V1. Okay. This formula Cp plus ln T2 by T1 plus R ln P1 by P2, this is got from that formula, second formula that we discussed. And then changing Cp and Cv values, we got this formula with Cv and R, and the formula Cv with Cv and Cp. So three formulas are there for entropy change in ideal gas. Okay. So you have to say this is R ln V2 by V1, then we have R ln P1 by P2. Okay. And this is mass. The values that we are getting in this value, Cv into R, are always in joule per kilogram per Kelvin. Okay. So if we multiply it with the mass of the entire system, we will get values joule per change in temperature, means dq by T value. Delta S is what? ds by dt, ds by T. ds is equal to dq by T, hai na? ds is equal to dq by T. So dq has a unit of joule and T has a unit of Kelvin. So what we get in this formula? Joule per Kelvin. Okay. The formula that we have, Cv into ln T2 by T1 plus R ln V2 by V1 into M. The unit that will be getting is joule per Kelvin. Okay. Now entropy change for an incompressible fluid. The same formula that we have got it for ideal gases. If you change in volume and change in pressure, it doesn't happen in solids. So we have only temperature thing. So entropy change for an incompressible fluid is S2 minus S1 is mCp or mc ln T2 by T1. C is a specific heat, m is mass, and T1 T2 are temperatures in Kelvin. ठीक है. This formula is used for both liquids and solid. Okay. Now we have mixing of two fluids. We have understood or we have known this thing in the second law of thermodynamics, that mixing of fluids is a irreversible process. There is a entropy generation. Okay. Now we will be calculating the entropy generation in the mixing of two fluids. This is the same thing if we bring two solids into contact. Okay, so mixing of two incompressible fluids is the same as bringing two solids into contact. So we have final temperature that we will get while bringing the two bodies into contact will be Tf is equal to mc1 T1 plus m2 C2 T2 by m1 C1 plus m2 C2. M is mass, C is the specific heat, T is temperature. Okay, and this equation has been got that Tf is equal to this is got from the same heat loss is equal to heat gain. In the system we are taking that no heat loss is there, the system is an insulated one, so heat loss is equal to heat gain. We got this, that heated body is losing heat and the cold body is gaining heat. Okay, now we calculate the entropy generation by the process. So entropy generation is equal to delta S system plus delta S surrounding. Now we are assuming that there is no heat gone to the surrounding, that this is a insulated process. So delta S surrounding is 0 because dq is equal to 0 to the surrounding. There is no heat is going. So delta S surrounding is equal to 0 and delta S system is equal to, that we got the formula from the fluids. Okay, mcp ln T2 by T1. Okay, mc ln Tf plus Tf by T1 plus m2 C2 ln Tf by T2. ठीक है, entropy change of fluid 1 plus entropy change of fluid 2. Okay, now we will always get the maximum work output in a reversible cycle, and in reversible cycle entropy generation is equal to 0, means total entropy change is equal to 0 and the process will be reversible. Okay, now we'll see a question. Okay, of the W max. Okay, that we will just find out that we were saying that efficiency of a reversible cycle is equal to efficiency of the cycle happens when okay, let's see. Okay, for maximum work output total entropy generation is equal to 0. Okay, means the process should be a reversible one, means delta S system plus delta S surrounding is equal to 0. We are taking the system as this one. Okay, it's a heat engine taking heat Q1 from the source at temperature T1 and there is a sink at temperature T2 in which we are rejecting heat Q2. Okay, and W is the work that we are getting from the heat engine. Okay, so the formula is sigmation dq by T plus entropy generation. It should be a entropy generation plus entropy generation should be there. Sigmation dq by T plus entropy generation is equal to 0. Now the sigmation dq by T is minus q1 by T plus q1 by q2 by T2. Okay, why there is the minus sign? Because the source is losing heat, so this is a minus sign, and the sink is gaining heat, Q2 is fading into the sink, so it's a positive value. So minus Q1 by T1 and plus Q2 by T2 and plus entropy generation, that I said before, that it's a sigmation dq by T plus entropy generation. Okay, you have to change this formula. It's not sigmation dq by T, it's sigmation dq by T plus entropy generation. Okay, so from that minus q1 by T1 plus q2 by T2 plus entropy generation is equal to 0. Okay, entropy. So this is a steady state system. Okay, whatever I will say, it will become more clear in the further lectures. Okay, while we will be going in the further. Okay, so entropy generation is equal to q1 by t1 minus q2 by t2 is equal to 0, implies q1 by t1 is equal to q2 by t2, implies q1 by q2 is equal to t1 by t2. Now what is one that we are adding in 1 minus in both side. Okay, so what we are getting, that efficiency of the heat exchanger is equal to efficiency of the reversible heat engine. So this is the formula for reversible heat engine, 1 minus T1 by T2, and this is the formula for any heat engine, 1 minus Q1 by Q2. Okay, so what do we have the formula of heat engine? Net work output by heat supplied. So this gives 1 minus Q1 by Q2. Okay, Q2 by Q1. Sorry. Okay, whatever the formula is, 1 minus q2 by q1 is equal to 1 minus t2 by t1. Okay, that's okay, that's okay. 1 minus q2 by q1 is equal to 1 minus t2 by t1 is equal to efficiency of the heat engine is equal to efficiency of the reversible heat engine. So we get the thing that we were trying to put, that we get maximum work output only for reversible process, that is entropy generation is equal to 0. Okay, and two things that you have to correct in this, that I have mentioned earlier, that it's not summation dq by t, it's summation dq by t plus entropy generation. And here in the last, all things are same, all things are good, that I have done good, but I had to change this, that 1 minus q2 by q1 is equal to 1 minus t2 by t1. Okay, because we are finally equating the efficiency, so we must have done 1 minus q2 by q1 is equal to 1 minus t2 by t1. Okay, 1 minus q2 by q1 is the efficiency of any heat engine, and 1 minus t2 by t1 is the efficiency of the reversible heat engine. Okay, now the previous problem that we were discussing, that mixing of the fluid. Okay, so in that question, the entropy generation would have been like this: mc1 ln tf by t1 plus m2 mc m2 c2 ln tf by t2. And if it had been, if we were computing the at what temperature the maximum work output will be obtained, so for maximum work output, total entropy generation would have been 0. So the final temperature must have been the geometric mean of t1 and t2. Okay, root under t1 and t2, geometric mean of t1 and t2. Okay, t1 into t2 under root, and w max, maximum work output, is equal to q1 minus q2 mc1 t1 minus tf minus m2 c2 tf minus t2. Okay, w is always na heat supplied minus heat rejected is equal to work net. Okay, so maximum work net is equal to q1 minus q2 m1 c1 minus t1 minus tf minus m2 c2 tf minus t2. Now work done in only open system or closed volume. We have established the formulas for work done in closed system for various processes. Now we have work done in open system. So work done in open system or constant volume is minus dp by into dp minus v into dp. V is volume and dp is change in pressure. So this is area under PV diagram, means area under the curve and the p-axis. Okay, for processes. Okay, for cycle you have the area under the curve, but if it's a process, you have to see the area between the curve and the p-axis for a open system, and with v-axis in a closed system. Okay, the curve and the p-axis for open system, the curve and the v-axis for closed system. Okay, now for the open system polytropic process, work done in open system is equal to gamma into work done in closed. Okay, Okay, polytropic process, polytropic index into work done in closed system, polytropic process, n into omega closed, n into W closed, adiabatic process, gamma into W closed, and isothermal process same as the W closed. Okay, means work done in a polytropic process in an open system is equal to adiabatic index into work done in the polytropic process in a closed system. Now for an adiabatic process in open system, work done is equal to gamma into work done in the closed system of the adiabatic process, and for an isothermal process it is same for both. Okay, means in open system whatever the work done is equal to same as the work done in the closed system. Okay, now for control volume or open system, rate of entropy generation, okay, that we were talking about, that rate of accumulation of entropy in a control volume is equal to rate of inflow of entropy minus rate of outflow of entropy plus rate of entropy generation. Okay, that is dou s by dt, dou s no, ds by dt control volume is equal to summation change in heat by temperature plus summation mass flow rate into entropy generation of inlet minus outlet and plus entropy generation. Okay, ds by dt is equal to summation of q by t plus summation of m dot s plus entropy generation. Okay, mi is mass flow rate of inlet, m dot e is mass flow rate of exit, SI is entropy generation, a specific entropy generation at inlet, a specific entropy generation, a specific entropy at inlet, SE is a specific entropy at exit. Okay, rest of the value is same. Okay, for a steady state flow system, okay, it's a steady state. A steady state means the values, the properties does not change with will not change with time. Okay, the properties does not change with time. Now entropy is also a property. Okay, we have already stated that entropy is an extensive property, so it's a property, and in a steady state the properties do not change with time, so ds by dt is equal to 0. Now equate this summation q dot by t, q dot is rate of change of heat. Okay, and all the same summation of mass flow rate into a specific entropy plus entropy generation is equal to 0. And also for control volume there is no mass accumulation at a steady state. Okay, so m dot cv is also equal to 0. Okay, for a steady state. If it's an unsteady state, there will be accumulation of energy and accumulation of mass. Okay, now we are computing the entropy generation for a question that has been given, that this is a heat engine taking heat from temperature source T1 and rejecting heat at sinks at temperatures T2 and T3. Okay, so we are considering again that there is no heat given out to the surrounding, no heat transfer, it's an insulated system. Okay, so we are computing the delta S system is equal to delta S1 plus delta S2 plus delta S3. Delta S1 is change in entropy of the source 1, delta S2 is change in entropy of the sink 2, and delta S3 is change in entropy of the sink 3. Now this is minus Q1 by T1 because Q1 is leaving that source T1. Okay, Q1 is leaving that, and delta S2 is positive because Q2 is entering into source source 2, and again Q3 by T3, Q is positive because Q is entering the sink 3. We have already learned the sign convention for heat, that if you are taking heat from the system it's negative, and if you are adding heat to the system it's positive. So this is just the common sign convention. Okay, now Q1 is equal to Q2 plus Q3 plus W with the same energy concept. Energy input is equal to energy output. So energy input is Q1 and energy outputs are Q2, Q3 and W. Okay. Okay. ठीक है, first question is done. The previous question has been done. Okay. Now this is again second question that we encounter, that change in entropy is equal to mc ln T2 by T1 for ice and water, and ice is solid and water is liquid, so incompressible, or this both are incompressible, so mc ln T2 by T1. Okay. Now if we are considering the latent heat conversion, then it's Q by T. Okay. Why it's Q? Because we are taking heat from the surrounding. Okay. In the system we are feeding heat, so it's a positive one. Okay. So entropy generation, change in entropy for melting or evaporation, that is latent heat, is equal to Q by T. Okay. And this entropy change is a positive value for both melting and evaporation. Okay. Now we always also have a wall question, that heat is propagating through a wall that has a inside temperature, then outside temperature, then there is a temperature at the wall. Okay. So in this question we have inside temperature of 27 degree, outside temperature of 0 degree centigrade. Temperature at the wall inside is equal to 20 degree centigrade, and outside temperature of the wall is 5 degree centigrade. Okay. So if it's given a steady state system, okay, so rate of entropy generation is equal to 0. We applied the formula. Okay. And there is no mass flow rate. Okay. No mass flow rate is happening, only heat flow is happening. So the terms containing mass flow rate are equated to 0. Okay. And we are just computing summation rate of heat flow by at the temperature. Okay. So Q dot 293 minus Q dot 273. Okay. 278 यानी कि inlet to outlet. Okay. Okay. So entropy generation in wall, 20 degree centigrade is equal to 293 Kelvin, 5 degree centigrade is equal to 278 Kelvin. Okay. At this Q, heat is leaving out, and this at 20 degree centigrade heat is coming in, so it's a positive value, this is negative value. Okay. Then entropy generation. Okay. So the value that we will getting here is entropy generation within the wall, and then again if we are computing, we are taking the value of T as 27 degree centigrade and 0 degree centigrade, we will getting the entropy generation in the process. Okay. So this is the question always asked in the GATE. Now we have considered only heat flow. Now we will be considering mass flow. Okay. So this is the chamber. Okay, that we are feeding mass from point 1 and taking mass from point 2 and point 3. Okay. Again, this is a steady state system, so mass flow rate at inlet is equal to mass flow rate at outlet, and again we will apply the formula of a steady state entropy generation. Okay. ओपन सिस्टम का जो है, ठीक है. Now there is no Q, it is associated with mass flow rate, so we are taking the mass flow rate terms. Okay. This is inlet and these are outlet, 2 and 3 are outlet and this is inlet. Okay. And plus entropy generation is equal to 0. Okay. Now the value S2 minus S1 and S3 minus S1, you can compute it from the formula of incompressible fluids given. Okay, that I have dictated before. So thank you.